What if I told you that the biggest crisis facing humanity right now isn't war, climate change, or even artificial intelligence, it's the fact that people just aren't having babies anymore? Yes, you heard that right. We used to worry about overpopulation, too many people, not enough food, crowded cities. But now, we have the opposite problem. Birth rates are dropping so fast that experts predict the world's population could shrink by half within a few generations. But why? Why are so many people choosing not to have kids? And should we even be worried about it? Welcome. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you love deep dive discussions on fascinating global trends, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an interesting topic. And if you enjoy this video, give it a like, it really helps us out. Alright, let's get into it.
The unexpected population crisis. Just a decade ago, the world was panicking about too many people. We worried about food shortages, energy consumption, and whether the planet could handle billions of humans. But now, the tables have turned. Many countries are seeing birth rates plummet to record lows. The US has the lowest fertility rate in its history. Germany is seeing the slowest birth rate in a decade. Japan's population is shrinking at an alarming rate. Even in countries like Italy, France, Norway, South Korea, Turkey, and Iran, birth rates have dropped below the critical threshold needed to sustain their populations. If this trend continues, the global population could collapse within the next few generations. Why are people having fewer kids? So, what's going on? Why are people making this choice? The answer isn't simple. There's no single reason. But let's break down some of the biggest factors driving this trend. Having kids is expensive, really expensive. Once upon a time, kids were a financial asset. In farming societies, they helped on the land, took care of livestock, and contributed to the family business. More kids meant more hands to work, and eventually, someone to take care of you in old age. Today, children are financial black holes. In the US, raising a child to the age of 18 costs around $286,000, and that's before college. Housing, food, education, healthcare, and childcare all add up, making it harder for young people to afford starting a family. When surveyed, 64% of young couples said they don't want kids because of financial concerns. Governments have tried to fix this by offering money to parents. Taiwan spends $500 million a year encouraging families to have more kids. South Korea has spent $270 billion over 16 years to boost birth rates. France gives 4% of its entire GDP to financial incentives for families. And yet, the birth rates in these countries still haven't gone up. Even in Norway and Finland, where the government literally gives parents $30,000 per child, birth rates are lower than in the US. So, money alone isn't the answer. Housing costs are out of control. Another major problem? People can't afford homes. Housing prices have skyrocketed, while salaries haven't kept up. In the UK and US, young people are delaying marriage and having fewer children because they can't afford a home. In Italy and Spain, where economic conditions are tough, birth rates are among the lowest in Europe. In Iran, rising costs of living and job instability have contributed to a rapid drop in birth rates. When people can't afford to move out of their parents' house, they're less likely to start a family. Modern life isn't designed for families back. In the day, kids played outside in safe neighborhoods filled with family and friends. Today, most people live in tiny apartments in crowded cities. Many neighborhoods lack parks or safe play areas for kids. Parents feel it's too stressful to raise children in unsafe or cramped environments. More and more couples are looking at the reality of modern urban life and deciding, no thanks. Where? Women have more choices than ever before. Now, here's one of the biggest game changers: women's independence. For the first time in history, women control their own reproductive, choices. Thanks to modern birth control, they can decide when, or if, they want kids. Feminist movements have also given women greater access to education and careers, making them less financially dependent on men. But here's the issue. Motherhood still disproportionately affects women's careers. Studies show that when a couple has a baby, the mother's salary drops by 60%, while the father's income remains unchanged. In many cultures, women are expected to handle most of the childcare and housework, even if they also have a full-time job. And guess what? Countries where men share parenting duties more equally, like Sweden and Norway, tend to have higher birth rates than countries where women are expected to do it all. The world feels like a worse place. Here's something interesting. Richer countries have lower birth rates than poorer ones. When people in wealthy nations are asked about the future, they tend to say, "The world is getting worse. The economy is unstable. Climate change will destroy everything." But when you ask people in developing nations, they often believe the future will be better. Ironically, those who think the world is a terrible place tend to have fewer kids, while those who struggle more are the ones having the most children. Why? That's for you to decide. Is this really a crisis? So, does it actually matter if people stop having kids? At first glance, a shrinking population might seem like a good thing. Fewer people, less strain on resources, right? But governments see this as a disaster because fewer young people equals smaller workforce, and a smaller workforce means less tax revenue. Then less tax revenue equals fewer services for aging populations. In short, if birth rates keep falling, societies will struggle to sustain their economies. But here's the real twist. Population decline doesn't hurt ordinary people as much as it hurts the wealthy elite. As the philosopher Voltaire once said, "The rich need the poor to maintain their comfort." Governments and corporations benefit from large populations of workers. A shrinking population threatens their wealth and power more than it threatens us.
So, will the world's population really shrink in half? Maybe. Maybe not. But one thing is clear, people are making different choices about parenthood than ever before. What do you think? Is declining birth rate a crisis, or just the natural evolution of society? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating topics. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.